Hi friend, if you watch this YouTube channel, you know that this is not my normal location for doing my videos. Today I wanted to sit in the place where I sit every single day to journal. Why do I want to do that? Because I know that journaling is one of the tools that I use that helps me hit my writing goals, and I want you to have that same tool. So that's what this video is going to be all about. My name's Kelly Notaris. I'm the founder of KN Literary Arts. We are your one-stop shop for getting from wherever you are to having a book in your hand, so visit us at knliterary.com. I also have been in the book publishing business in the United States for over 20 years, and I bring all of that wisdom to you right here on this YouTube channel for free, so please don't forget to hit subscribe and click that little bell icon so you never miss a video. All right, well today I want to talk to you about something that is so near and dear to my heart I can't even tell you, which is journaling. This is my current journal, literally. It's the place where I have been writing about my life. It's only been a few weeks that I've had this journal, but I use a journal. I always have one going because every single morning I sit right here, usually with my cup of coffee. Can't have coffee this late in the day, so I can't even pretend, but usually my cup of coffee and this, and of course my little helper, Violet. Why do I think that journaling is so important? There are two reasons. Number one, I find that so many authors who are trying to get a head start on their book, trying to reach their writing goals, the thing that holds them back is in here. It's in their head. It is these thoughts, these ideas, these fears, these insecurities that are just rolling around with no place to go. And so when they sit down and quiet down to try to write, it all just comes upwelling in this enormous tsunami of fear. It might not even be something that they notice, but it gets them to suddenly have to clean the room, suddenly have to go, rake the yard. Something they've been avoiding doing for a very long time suddenly sounds not so bad when they have to sit there in the quiet to write their book and actually face all their fears. So the number one thing I want to tell you about journaling is that this is what keeps me from drowning under my own tsunami of fear every day. Every morning I get up and I sit down and just write. I don't have any rules for what happens when I'm doing my journaling, except that I put the date at the top of the page and then I just start to write. Sometimes it's actually beautiful. Sometimes I learn a lot about myself. Other times it's just me letting out all of the thoughts that have not had any place to go, that are taking up space in my head. And sometimes I'm there for 15 minutes. Sometimes I'm there for an hour. It depends on what is inside of me and what my schedule looks like that day. But regardless, I give my subconscious the opportunity and permission to just roll. And I gotta tell you, what that means is that later on in the day, when I need to focus and I need to write something, be it a blog or a newsletter or email communication to my team, I can do it with a total clarity of mind, because all that stuff, that junk that's been rolling around, it's in here. And guess what? I don't even really reread my journals. Some people really do, but I don't, because I know this is more a catalog of my fear than anything else. But that is the number one reason why I recommend you start journaling to meet your writing goals. Okay, what's the second benefit of journaling to an author who wants to meet their writing goals? There's something that I call your exploratory journaling that I think is key to most authors before they write their book. Why? Because when we sit down to write our book, if we haven't actually done quite a bit of writing about the topic already, we find ourselves paralyzed. There's so many things we could say, so many places we could start. There are so many, again, fears that will crop up around, well, should I do this or should I do that? Should I tell this story or should I tell that story? If you take the time to do journaling about the topic of your book on a daily basis as you're preparing to write your book, whether that's a couple weeks or a couple months or even years before you write your book, you will be so much more clear when you sit down to actually start than you would have been otherwise, because you've taken the time to clarify through your own writing process. So what does this look like? It looks like sitting down and maybe putting at the top of the page, I'm going to write a book about X. And then just start writing. I think this topic is maybe not exactly the right topic. Maybe I should write about this instead. Am I going to include this story? What's mom going to think? You're able to start getting all of the ideas about the book out onto the page in a way that, again, allows for more clarity and allows for a clearer path for the actual writing of the book to come through. So the number one question I get from authors all the time about journaling is, can I turn my journals into a book? What I will say is that I have seen it happen only very rarely that works. Instead, what a journal can be is a catalog of moments in time that you might have forgotten about 3 years later that allow you to go back and recreate the scenes from the time that you're writing about. And so it can be very, very helpful, but it rarely turns into the writing of the book. It's more of like a preparation, a runway to get you ready to write the book. And again, a place where you can go back and remember, oh, right, I forgot I had that conversation with so-and-so. I'm actually going to recreate that for the book. So it becomes more of a reference than actual writing that gets lifted out and put in a book. Now, don't worry about that. Don't panic. It doesn't mean it wasn't worth your time. You got clear. You developed your ideas for the book. You let go of the rattle of the fears in your head in that journaling process. So it is always a useful exercise for an author to be writing every day. It's not necessarily going to translate into work that goes into the book, but that is okay. You can do that now. You'll see you have so much more clarity having done the exploratory journaling and what I call the daily download, the type of journaling I was saying where you just sit down and write that I do every single morning. It will prepare you so much to be ready to sit down and write your book when the time comes. All right, if you have any other questions about all this, you can drop them in the comments below. We'd love to respond to the questions that come up here. And also, you can visit us for so much more information at knliterary.com. So in the meantime, I wish you good luck on your book journey and more even importantly, good luck on your daily journaling. It is something that I truly believe will enrich your life as it has mine, and I'd love to hear about it if that's the case.